tournament is one of the things that makes it so great is that it can be great, but it can also be cruel. And we obviously put ourselves in a position to play from behind the whole game, and then really competed and played great down the stretch, and just didn't finish what we had started down the stretch. But certainly disappointed, sad for our guys because they tried so hard, but just a tough afternoon.
Questions for the student athletes?
Jesus Garcia, KCR Radio. Question for Kohl. You didn't play on Friday, but when you came on today, you played a big role in bringing Kansas back into the game. Can you just talk about the preparation you did to be ready upon being called, not knowing whether you'd see the court?
Yeah, I mean, everything I do, I'm just trying to help my team win. So when I'm on the bench, I'm cheering my guys on. And when my name was called, I was just ready. I never really checked out of the game, knowing what defense is wearing, knowing what plays are running. So it just happened to be my moment, and I was ready.
Shea Willibor, Jayhawks Land. Kohl, can you just talk about the offensive rebound and score that really seemed to spark the guys on that run? Because at the time it was a big moment in the game.
Yeah, I was. I forgot who shot the ball, but the ball went up, and I saw my guy turn his head. So I acted like I was going to go back, and as soon as he turned his head, I just went and grabbed the offensive board.
Emma Noble, Playmakers KU. Question for Melvin. Melvin, you love this team. You've kissed the Jayhawk on the center court. What are you taking away from your entire season being a Kansas Jayhawk and wearing this jersey?
Boot camp, started in the summertime. Got with the guys early morning, working out and just being around them a lot.
Any other questions for the student athletes? Okay, thank you. Oh, you got one?
Gary Bedore, KC Star. Melvin, the comeback was pretty impressive. What was different during that stretch?
We were just being more aggressive on defense. We didn't do that first half. That was the game plan, to be aggressive and keep fighting and hit first.
Came all the way back. Describe the last play. You made the comeback all the way back. Describe that layup. Was it just a great play by him?
St. John's is a good team. It was a great layup. If it was a ball screen, we would have switched it, but he rejected it.
Any other questions for the student athletes? Okay, thank you, gentlemen. And we'll continue with Coach Self.
Jalen Fong, KYMA Sports. When Flory has those two early fouls, what did you guys have to change defensively, considering how good of a rebounding team St. John's is?
We really didn't change. We put Paul in, and actually, I thought Paul played great. Thought he played big. We got, they kicked us on the glass to start the game. A couple of them were, we got our butts whipped, but a couple of them were kind of unfortunate bounces too. But I thought defensively for the entire game, we played the scouting report, and we didn't want to Hopkins to shoot set shots, but he's averages, I think he's made 20 on the year or something like that, and 0.6 a game. We would probably live with that for the most part, and I wish we would have bluffed at him a couple of times, but he just made shots that basically our scouting report said if he takes them, he takes them.
Jesus Garcia, KCR Radio. Two questions. First, Kohl had not seen the court until the last 3 games. After that 9-minute stretch, can you just talk a bit about his impact and your reasoning for subbing him out on the last play?
Well, yeah, we tried to get our best defensive team in there, so that was why we did that. And obviously, it wasn't a very good effort on us. The last 3.9. Had to guard 4 bounces, and we didn't guard 4 bounces. So, that was really disappointing. But Kohl did a great job. I mean, that's hard not to play and then be inserted in, and do what he did in a short amount of time. I thought he's great.
And second question, a lot has been made about your coaching future. Given what you've gone through on and off the court, how much time will you take to reflect upon what is next on this stage of your career?
Well, I haven't really gone through much on the court. I've gone through some stuff off the court, so I'll get back and get with family and visit and see what's going on. I love what I do. I need to be able to do it where I'm feeling good and healthy to do it, fairly well. So I'll get back home and it'll all be discussed.
Michael Swain, 24/7 Sports. You talked a lot about the physicality going into this game. How do you feel like your team matched up in that regard?
I thought great after the start of the game. I thought the first 5 to 7 minutes we didn't, and then after that I thought we did very well. Zuby made the 2 plays late. Catches the ball in the dead corner with 3 on the shot clock, and drives it and shoots a right-hand jump hook and scores, and then he makes the really good spin move late. Other than that, I thought, until the last play, I thought we defended them soundly. We rebounded it well. We offensive rebounded. They were playing a little bit like we were on Friday, just trying to get to the finish line, and we were more aggressive, and I wish we'd been that way earlier in the game.
And can you help us with the fouls at the end? What's the strategic plan of having your guys foul in that moment?
Well, use the clock. That's what I was thinking. I wish that when Kohl fouled the first time, he fouled in 1 second. I wish he could have just let him hold it and foul with 5 seconds into it. So now you got a situation where maybe there's not 3-9, maybe there's 2-0 or 1-5. But our whole deal was with that many team with only 2 team fouls, why wouldn't you go ahead and foul in that situation? We left them too much time, but irregardless of that, you got to guard 3 or 4 bounces, and we didn't do it.
Sam McDowell, Kansas City Star. Bill, the previous answer you had, I just want to make sure I interpret it correctly. You haven't decided about whether or not you'll coach next year yet?
No, I haven't decided. I'll get back and visit with family, and I've had some obviously some issues off the court health wise, and that'll be discussed. But I love what I do. I want to feel good while I'm doing it, though. So we'll get back and we'll discuss that when we get back.
And then I wonder if you could just speak to the uniqueness of this season about, in March not having played a whole season with your full group, and just the difficulty of getting to the rhythm you wanted to by this time of year because of that.
Well, I didn't think we ever got rhythm offensively the whole year. It's one thing to get rhythm, but it's another thing when you go against teams like Houston and Arizona and St. John's that guard differently than other teams guard you. So it's a little easier to get rhythm when you're comfortable. And the key to, having rhythm is doing it when you're put under duress. And I didn't think we handled that very well at all. At the end, we were aggressive and played to athletic ability and went and made athletic plays, which was great. But certainly, frustrating years would be probably too much to say, but it's certainly a year that didn't seem like it was. Nothing about it was very smooth. It seemed like to me we were having to adjust on the fly quite a bit.
Any other questions? We have one in the front.
Coach, how do you feel Darren played tonight? And looking back at the season, how would you describe Darren's 1 year in college?
Well, I thought he played well, and I thought he played really hard. The thing about it is, when you guard as well and as hard as what St. John's does, those shots are hard shots. And you switch coming off every screen and all that stuff. Those are hard. Those are hard plays. I thought he competed hard. I was really proud of his effort. He's had moments where he's looked great and moments where obviously his health didn't allow him to play like we all know he's capable of playing. But I hope the year was enjoyable for him. I know I enjoyed being around him an awful lot.
We haven't asked you in a while. How are you feeling? Are you going through anything now? Or are you
No, I'm
completely
no.
healthy, or what?
I don't know about completely, but I'm feeling. I feel as good as I felt in a long time. So you know, and I'm not making any statements whatsoever. But every year, I think, you know, it used to be you work when you get to be done as long as I've done it. I look at it in 5-year increments. Now I'm probably looking at it more in 2-year increments, so to speak. So I've tried to focus on this season and, you know, trying to get us to a second weekend, which we failed at. So I'll go back now and break it down and see where that leads.
Jacob Johnson from Playmakers KU. Coach, this is now the 4th year in a row that you guys have failed to make it past the second round. Looking forward to next season, what do you think needs to be changed? Maybe identity or aggressiveness?
No, you're right. You know, the first year we were a 1 seed, and you know I had serious health issues, and I didn't finish the season, and the last 2 years hasn't been, well, this year included, it's been inconsistent and not as good. So obviously it's disappointing. I really feel that we had a team this year that could have been a higher seed if we'd have played better in other games. And if you're a higher seed, you don't play St. John's in the second game, arguably the hottest team in the tournament. But a new identity, no, that's not it. I actually believe that we need to do a really good job evaluating and recruiting.
Joaquin Serrato, the Daily Aztec. I mean, Coach, it wasn't the way how you wanted to end the season, but just how proud of you of this? How proud of you are you of this group this season?
Well, I think they hung in there, you know, through the ups and the downs. I thought they hung in there and stayed together and, you know, played hard for the most part, you know, all year long. I thought they competed hard. The thing about this group, as you guys saw, our margin for error offensively isn't that great. So you got to be really good and competitive defensively and rebounding the ball. And when we did that, you know, we can make other teams play poorly to the point where that was enough. We actually did that fairly well tonight, but obviously Hopkins made 6, and you know, we didn't score the ball or take care of the ball in a manner in which you need to beat a team like St. John's.
How much history do you have in these high-stakes games with buzzer beaters and on the wrong end tonight? Wouldn't that be a terrible way to go out of your career?
Yeah, you missed my point earlier. My career ain't going to be based on one game, whatever. I said I was going to get back and evaluate my health situation. So I think you kind of missed the point on that one.
Any other questions for Coach? Going to go one here, and that'll do it.
When you talked about just getting back and evaluating and recruiting, I just wondered if you mean a distinction from how you've been doing it, or just that's just part of the process that you go through.
Well, you know, you're going to have to figure out, you know, who's staying, who's not staying, portal. I just think it's in today's time. It's the next 4 to 6 weeks will be indicative to the question that was asked earlier, is how can improve yourself moving forward. The next 4 or 6 weeks will be the most important time to do that.